Well, the first time I told my dad that I was doing the Peking to Paris, he was like ecstatic. He loved it.
I think it's great. It reminds me of me when I was younger, that I would just get up and just do anything, just try it and work on it. And he can just about do anything from rebuilding a car to building a house. I had a 56 Speedster, but when I got married, I had to get rid of the sports car and start a family, so. My father was a used car dealer in Glendale, so I practiced driving on the car lot, backing cars up and back and forth. I liked to work on them and clean them, and it was just something that was in me that I liked to do. I was in Honk magazine on the cover on the first edition in 1953, I believe it was. My dad told me if I saved up whatever money I saved up, he would match it and buy me a car. $150 for a 32 Ford three-window coupe. It was pretty much all original, and which I rebuilt the engine and painted it myself, and I did everything by myself on spare times after school. Well, I've always liked Porsches, so I figured that, you know, it's about time I go back and get another one, so like you just gotta have one. In fact, in 1998, I was at the factory. I might have even seen my car being built.
We're a lot like our dads. That's just the way it is. And luckily my dad's got some style and he's into cars. I mean, I love it. So, and he was also body surfing and surfing at an early age, and I happen to be surfing now too, and I have been my whole life, but we're into cars and we like the beach, and we're just California guys, I guess. My heritage is German, of course, because my last name is Gearhardt. But my family history, we come from Baden-Baden, and that's on my dad's side. And my mom is German and English and Scottish. And my father is German, Latvian, and Spanish. So we're mutts from Europe. I was born in '67. I happen to have two Porsches that are a 67 912s and a 69 911, and then, you know, a few other cars in the 60s, and I just it's the design of them is so beautiful. I've gotten more passionate about it, especially with the Peking to Paris rally and the creation of the Irish Green 912. I've just fallen in love with it, and then also really it's the build. So the Peking to Paris is a rally that starts from Beijing, Peking, China, all the way to Paris through Mongolia, Kazakhstan, Russia, and then through the upper part of Europe, Finland, St. Petersburg and down. And it's basically off-road, on-road, rally checkpoints. Every day you have to get to a certain point. It's a timed rally, so it's not a race, although from what I've heard, people are racing. You know, everybody's like, they're in a race because people are just, they have that mentality. And we have to bring our own tents, our own spare parts. We have to be able to work on our car. So it's really just the two of us. And that I think was one of the most intriguing things for me.
So what I wanted to do was, next to this here, I want to put an auxiliary fuse panel with blade type fuses that for all of our auxiliary electrics. So to power this, to power the rally lights, to power our auxiliary power for charging or keeping 12 volt sources for whatever we're charging. And then what I want to do is run off that our backup ignition for the car. So if something fails in the factory electric circuit, I can just change a plug or two and hook it up and we're good to go. Yeah.
And then I only saw a couple of funky wires that needed to be replaced. That's it. Like there was one for the headlights. We just needed to do a new string wire probably, and then one needs a little more length. And that was it. Everything else seemed to be, okay.
Yeah, I just feel like it's smarter to keep that stuff separate because we don't want to be chasing. I don't want to be chasing an issue.
Yeah.
And thinking, well, is it something we installed that's our auxiliary, or is it something that's part of the factory original?
I've had some great people to help me with the build, but I really am trying to do everything myself, also to help out my partner on the journey.
I looked at him as somebody who was really inspirational. I thought, here's a guy that is already in his mid-30s and he's really made something for himself and he's doing stuff, and Kurht just constantly doing stuff. And I mean, I think no matter how much I try to do, Kurt's always going to do more. You know, he works hard and he plays hard, but he seems to make time for everything, and I've just always appreciated that.
It's this trifecta of enjoyment where you get to do everything.
It's something I wouldn't do. I'm just too comfortable where I'm at. You know, it's just, what is it, 6 weeks of not being home, that kind of stuff. I could handle it for a few days, but I'm just too comfortable in my setting that I could do something like that. But it's going to be an adventure, if you could afford it and you like stuff like that, you just should do it.
I don't think it's really up to me to describe myself, since I think maybe other people may describe me in whatever words or thoughts they have, but I guess in simple words it would be simple, adventurous, hardworking, and determined.